everyone. Welcome to Disneyland News Today for today. I'm Chris and I'll be your reporter once again. But please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you never ever miss any of the latest Disney parks news all around the world. Now with the news for today, Sunday, July 13th, 2025. First, a reopening date has been set for the Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland, according to the operational calendar on the official resort website. The Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland Park closed for refurbishment on May 8th, 2025. The Fantasyland attraction will reopen on July 24th, missing the park's 70th anniversary by 1 week. The Disneyland Resort website lists operating hours for the Matterhorn bobsleds starting on July 24th from 8 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock a.m., coinciding with the park's operational hours for the day. The Matterhorn is one of the most unique attractions at Disneyland. It is one of few rides that hasn't been cloned into any other Disney resort around the world, making it a one-of-a-kind attraction for Disneyland. It has two different ride tracks. One traverses the Fantasyland side of the mountain, while the other takes the Tomorrowland side. Although not an opening day attraction as it debuted in 1959, the Matterhorn is often considered a classic and is represented in the park's iconography. The ride is featured as this month's Windows of Attractions pin and recently as released on a Spirit jersey. As part of the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, an Dumbo snowman zipper shaped like Harold the Yeti from the ride is available for $34.79 at various locations around the resort. Next, in honor of the 4th of July for 2025, Disney Celebrate America, a 4th of July concert in the sky fireworks, returned to Disneyland parks for a special holiday performance. Disney Celebrate America, a 4th of July concert in the sky, was performed at 9:35 p.m. on Friday, July 4th. The show includes fireworks, patriotic music, and projections on Sleeping Beauty Castle and Main Street, USA. The fireworks display debuted in 2008 at both Disneyland Park in California and Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Florida, but the shows are not identical. Interestingly, some of the preparations for the busy 4th of July crowds were lighter this year than in the past. To help crowd control flow, Disneyland Park set up temporary walls and planters along guest walkways, but the number of these were reduced greatly from previous years. This was likely in association with the Paint the Night Electrical Parade, which of course takes place in a very similar, goes along Main Street and has viewing along much of the same area. That would be fireworks viewing as well. After nearly 4 months of Maleficent remaining grounded, she is once again rising into the air during Fantasmic at Disneyland. When Fantasmic returned to Disneyland a year after the Maleficent Dragon Fire, Maleficent as a human appeared in a potentially permanent B mode, with the dragon destroyed. The human version of Maleficent would stand on a rising platform during the show's finale, towering over Mickey. Since the second show on March 17th, 2025, Maleficent has appeared in what we've nicknamed CE mode. The first Fantasmic performance that evening abruptly ended during the show's finale. During the second performance, Maleficent only walked back and forth on the porch of the cider mill. She remained in this CE mode seen in our video on our, I guess, we don't have a video, actually, I don't think. This ascension effect was finally fixed, and Maleficent is back in her previous B mode as of July 4th, 2025. The finale is still not quite in working order entirely. However, as Mickey's disappearing and reappearing effect has been absent for months, we last saw it working on February 7th, 2025. Usually, Sorcerer Mickey conducts some music and fireworks at top of the mill. Then, with the burst of fireworks, he disappears and reappears in his tuxedo on the ground. For now, he remains as Sorcerer Mickey on the roof through the end of the show. Meanwhile, the beginning of the Magic Mirror scene has now been altered to have Mickey standing on the porch instead of on the roof. This scene was updated as of May 16th and appears to be a permanent change. The show also debuted some new lighting during the show's introduction on that day, possibly part of the 70th anniversary updates. Some new updates to the Disneyland entertainment schedule have led to rumors that the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade will be ending performances on August 10th. The Celebrate Happy Cavalcade currently travels through Disneyland Park at 1:30 p.m. and 2:45 p.m. daily in celebration of the resort's 70th anniversary. The cavalcade began on May 14th, was a soft opening dress rehearsal for cast and characters. Now, according to the online entertainment schedule, the cavalcade will end on August 10th. In these images we're showing on screen right now from the website, the cavalcade has no show times past August 10th. Starting on August 11th, in the past, when an entertainment offering no longer appears on the schedule, it means that it is ending or pausing for one reason or another. The Paint the Night Parade is showing up 5 minutes earlier each night as daylight times adjust on the West Coast. Just not related to the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade, just another kind of thing. This isn't like a cause and effect thing where Celebrate Happy is ending, so Paint the Night moves earlier. It's just kind of another a little change. As we previously reported, Disney announced that performances of both Better Together or a Pixar Palace celebration and the Wondrous Journeys Fireworks Spectacular will temporarily pause to make way for seasonal entertainment offerings, mainly the usual Halloween and Christmas entertainment. It is likely that the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade is only pausing to allow for these Halloween and Christmas offerings, since the Disneyland 70th celebration is set to last through the summer of 2026. However, we do not know when the cavalcade could return. After a short period when it became a themed seating area, Port Royal Curious and Curiosities has reopened at Disneyland Park once again as a store selling merchandise. Port Royal Curious and Curiosities is a small shop located in New Orleans Square. The shop was often used as a merchandise location, specifically selling Haunted Mansion items. However, following the opening of Madame Lallette's somewhere beyond, the extra merchandise location was no longer necessary. As we reported earlier this year, Port Royal Curious and Curiosities was transformed into an additional seating area for the nearby Royal Street Ver, as seen in the image we're showing. on screen right now. The space became a fake jazz club area with the former merchandise counter transformed into a Fox bar. The rest of the room included several tables and chairs, making it a great place to escape some of the summer heat. However, as of July 3rd, 2025, Port Royal Curious and Curiosities has once again become a small merchandise shop. All of the former jazz club seating has been removed and the counter is being used for cash registers once again. The walls and ceiling retain their old colors, but all of the jazz club theming has been removed. All of the Fox Live Entertainment posters have been taken off the walls, as have the musical instruments. There were bottles on shelves behind the counter, but these are now being used as merchandise displays for items currently on sale. The props inside the original space have returned to their Haunted Mansion style theming. The displays on top of the merchandise shelves include half-melted candies, portraits, glass bottles of labeled ingredients, and more items, all lit in dramatic blue. However, it is interesting to note that the store is not selling Haunted Mansion merchandise like it used to. Instead, most of the merchandise consisted of items related to Fantasmic and the Nightmare Before Christmas. It is possible the store will now be used to sell seasonal or holiday-related merchandise. Several of the Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise items we found at the store were new, so it's possible that this is a new location for those items, so stay tuned for our complete list of those items with prices. But in the meantime, Disneyland Resort has also released an extensive new collection of Haunted Mansion merchandise over at Madame Lotus Somewhere Beyond. Well, it was Pin Tuesday again, and new pins of the Disneyland Resort last week are inspired by the Fantasmic 4 First Steps, the Black Cauldron, Ant-Man, and the Disneyland 70th Anniversary Celebration. These were all found at 20th Century Music Company at Disneyland Park, but are also available at other locations. First up is a limited release, the Fantasmic 4-pin for $19.99. Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, and Human Torch are pictured gathered together on this pin. Four logo is in the upper right corner, while the Fantastic 4 First Steps logo is in the lower right corner. The new Marvel Studios film will be out on July 25th, 2025. The newest metal-inspired pin honoring the 25th anniversary of Disney pin trading features Kermit the Frog. He's wearing a pin lanyard and holding up a pin for trade. He's pictured in the spinning center of a bronze medallion with a red strap. The other side of the spinning centerpiece features a large owl for limited edition and limited release. This pin is a limited edition of 4,000 and is $22.99. This next pin celebrates 40 years of the Black Cauldron, which released in 1985. Turin Princess Eileen, Gurgi, and the Horn King, and Henlin all pictured. The pin has green smoke borders and a silver tone anniversary logo in the lower left corner. The limited edition size is 2,000 and is $22.99. This cosmic-inspired pin depicts Steve Rogers as Captain America and his regular self before being transformed. It's part of a series of superhero transformation pins. It is a limited series of 3,750 and is $22.99. In honor of the film's 10th anniversary, the Ant-Man pin features the profile of the titular hero's helmet against a red backdrop with a black border. 10 years ago, is on the right, marking the Marvel's film's anniversary. An atomic symbol is on the left side, and it is $22.99. The 31st series of the Magical Mystery Pin Pack has arrived. Each pin in this mystery set resembles a retro TV with a character from the 1990s Disney Afternoon Picture. Featured characters are Darkwing Duck, Scrooge McDuck, Bonkers D, Bobcat, Goofy, Chip and Dale, and Baloo. There are 6 pins in the set. Each pin pack contains one randomly selected pin and is $9.99 per baggie. This is the first series of the Disney Mini Mix-It pins, and they have also debuted for $22.99 a box. Mini Mix-Its are character plush with Velcro mix and match hats inspired by holidays, seasons, and attractions. There are 8 pins in the collection, but each box contains 2 randomly selected pins. They are Donald with a purple star hat, Pascal with a lantern hat, Alice with a teacup hat, Pa with a leaf hat, Mickey with a tiki bird hat, the White Rabbit with a green teacup hat, Pluto with a Ganga hat, and Minnie Mouse with a carousel horse hat. Additionally, 4 opening day Disneyland attractions receive special limited edition pins for the 70th anniversary Vault collection. The first of which is themed to the Jungle Cruise. A Disneyland Resort banner is atop a shield-shaped pin with the attraction's name and 1985 on a banner across the bottom. The Jungle Cruise pin, despite a boat and hippos, is in the lower left corner. Goofy is on the Autopia pin. Behind him, red and yellow cars drive up down the road. Donald Duck is pictured in a conductor's uniform on the Disneyland Railroad pin. A black and red train engine is in the background. And lastly, Minnie Mouse is on the King Arthur carousel pin. The carousel is pictured in the background with a few horses standing out under the stripped canopy. Each pin is in limited edition of 4,000, and they are $22.99 each. Well, anyways, everyone, now let's get off topic and go to our event. Skip past this if you want to disappoint the Chris team. We have an event coming up tomorrow as of recording this. As I said earlier, today's Sunday, July 13th, 2025. And the Chris Summer Games 2025 begin Monday, July 14th, 2025. They're a 5-day event, so they'll last through Friday. On Friday, they'll be at night. So all 4 days in the beginning will be filmed in the daytime with sun. But the only day will be the final day, the finale Friday, which will be at night and followed by a fireworks show. But please watch them with us on our channel. So this is our second one. Last year we had the Chris Summer Games 2024, the first ever Chris Summer Games event. Those kind of did good. I honestly don't think they did good, but I'm actually a little disappointed, but that was my fault. I didn't have our wonderful team arranged. I didn't arrange a team yet. I didn't get a team to help me at it, but I finally got that team to help me at it, and we're gonna have more camera shots this year. I know we'll have camera people this year. We didn't even get the first day of racing down the course. Isn't that something? But please watch them with us. I would like you now to watch the preview. But first, before we watch it, I'd like to say what happened last year. So last year, it was Monday, July 15th, the day we always start for the Monday, mid-July. So last year was Monday, July 15th, the first day. Well, this year it's Monday, July 14th, a day before. On Tuesday, the second day, as to resemble the thing that we had on July 15th, the opening date last year. We're going to have a celebration to celebrate the Chris Summer Games 2024, even though they're gone now. So please watch them. So last year on Wednesday, Day 3, the Chris Summer Games 2024, it was Big Court Day. All of our big guys would come, and so it got rained out. There was a possible tornado threat. Not like we didn't have one. Luckily, we don't live in tornado zones. You see, well, we're in our office here. We don't. But for you, you might. But we don't here where we film. I can't reveal. Okay, but when like a long time ago, everyone says the weather has changed because a long time ago it was not a tornado threat one bit. But ever since the weather has changed, that's because the world's, I guess, spinning. I don't know. But that's the problem. So, yeah, we hope we don't get rained out again. But luckily last year we didn't get rained out on the first day. That's our goal. Do not get rained out for the opening ceremony. We could get rained out any other day, but the opening ceremony is an important point. Also the grand finale. But any of Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday we could get rained out and we could reschedule because Big Court Day. Thursday was scheduled for semifinals. We did Big Court Day on Thursday, and the semifinals we filmed right after Big Court. So that's something. But watch this clip, and we'll get right back to the news today stuff. On July 14th, 2025, is the biggest event of the summer, the Chris Summer Games 2025. Get ready for a wonderful time, good competition, and a steep but wonderful race course. And this will all be at one place, the Chris Summer Games 2025. And you can all watch them right here on the Chris Summer Games 2025, Monday, July 14th through July 18th, 2025. See ya at the Chris Summer Games 2025. Space Mountain at Disneyland Park has received a new single rider pass designed for this Disneyland 70th anniversary celebration. Cast members give guests the pass when they enter the single rider queue, which goes through the ride's exit. The Disneyland Resort 70th anniversary logo is at the bottom next to an astronaut holding a birthday cake. Space Mountain is pictured at the top with the ride's name in purple, one of the celebration signature colors. The pass lists the rules of the single rider queue. This pass allows one guest to enter through the single rider queue. This pass does not guarantee immediate boarding. Single riders must be at least 40 inches or 102 centimeters tall to experience Space Mountain. Single riders must meet all boarding requirements. Special seating requirements may not be accommodated. Boardies will be separated and it is subject to availability. The height requirement to missing a second quote mark to indicate guests must be 40 inches tall, accidentally stating that guests must be 40 feet tall. Guests give this pass to a cast member at the end of the queue before boarding the rocket. Indiana Jones Adventure also recently reintroduced its single rider queue option after many years. Other rides that include a single rider line include Goofy Sky School, the Grizzly River Run, the Incredicoaster, Millennium Falcon Smuggler, Radiator Springs Racers, Soaring Around the World, Web Slingers, a Spider-Man Adventure, and the Matterhorn bobsleds, which will reopen from refurbishment on July 24th. Well, anyways, everyone, that's it for our broadcast today. It was our first broadcast in a little while. So, yeah, bye, everyone. Peace.